Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, I believe. Correct, Kim?
Correct.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. I am Nancy Quinn, business coach and body language trainer to interior designers, and I am here with Kim Vanderpool from Fresh Impact Social Media. If you need your social media handled or need to learn about how to do your social media properly, this is your lady. So welcome, Kim.
Thanks for having me. It's so exciting.
I know. Leslie's been taking a lot of these lives, so I'm always happy when I get to meet with you and talk with you. And this one's an important one. I just had a conversation yesterday with one of the designers in my Profit Insiders Academy who said, I don't even know how to read my metrics. Like, I don't even know how to see if what I'm doing is working well. And I always say, are you going to the Get It Done Club? Because you should be, because all my people are members of your social media club. So tell everyone what would they need to know today.
Well, for one thing, we tend to post on social media. And then if a post gets a lot of likes, we think we're doing great. But the end of the year is a perfect time to step back and look at really what are we doing? Because why would we want to just post for the sake of posting? When we are posting for our business, it's like everything else we do in our business. We need to be intentional and have the goals. And depending on what goals you set are the metrics that you look at. So if you want, when you're starting out, brand recognition is a great goal. And so when you're doing that, then you want to look at your reach, and follow, because you're building that trust, you're growing that audience. And then are people saving or commenting or sharing your post? That would be the next level. And then if you want to drive traffic to your website or get sales, then those are goals that we go towards. And so, like I like to say, social media is like health, diet, exercise. We're not going to lose 100 pounds overnight. So what do we need to do that first 5 pounds? We need to have that smaller goal. And that's what we do, is we want to make sure that people know who we are. A lot of people will come to the club and they'll go, I only have 150 followers, or nobody's seeing my stuff. Okay, well, if you have 150 followers, that's better than none. You're working on this. And if 5 people commented or liked your post at 150 followers, you take that percentage and you compare it and go look at somebody that's got 10,000 followers and 5 people like their post. So your percentage is really good. Instagram loves the smaller accounts. And so it's going to help you succeed, but you need to know what your goal is first. And then if you want brand recognition, is it posting once a week? Well, you know what? If I only walk once a week, I'm not going to lose weight near as fast as if I walk every day.
I love that analogy. Yes.
Yeah. And so you post to what you have time for without it being like you can't have time for anything else, because that's our goals. We want to make social media simple. So looking to see how far are your posts going, what kind of reach there are, is there any engagement? A lot of times we'll have people come in the club and they'll post, but it has no value to the people that they're trying to attract. It's more something that they found interesting, which is okay. But think about who your customer is or your client that you want to attract and post to that. So looking at that reach to see where it goes. One thing that very, very few people are taking advantage of is on Instagram, when you create a reel, you can have that go to your non-followers only. And so that would potentially increase your getting in front of a newer audience. But that's when you have to go in there manually and post it. You can't use a scheduler. And you have to click the button to go to non-followers. Now, some people with super small accounts might not have that option yet. We have one girl in the club that didn't have it, and she got to so many followers, and then she got it. And so
the professional account.
Yes. Professional, or maybe creator too. I'm not for sure.
Creator. Okay, I've seen that.
And the reason you want to do that is because you want to get in front of a newer audience, and you can post up to 5 reels a day into that non-followers, and people on your feed aren't going to see it. It's a great way to test different posts to see what are working and what's not working. And so if you posted a post and it went to your non-followers and they started getting engagement, then Instagram allows you to go ahead and share that to your own feed and wall.
Oh, interesting. I think this is new. I've never heard of this, and it's great. It's almost like instead of paying to get into non-followers, you're saying reels are letting you actually put it
Yep.
out.
And you can do up to 5 a day. They used to do like 20, 30 reels. I don't know who has time to make 30 reels a day, but but it's a great opportunity to put that part of your strategy. Like, I want to get in front of non-followers and see what kind of resonates with them. And then how can you translate that into maybe bringing that kind of content into your regular feed?
Great idea.
So that's one thing. So paying attention to those analytics, I would even track them every 3 months based on your goal. I mean, ideally it'd be nice to do it monthly, but that's a lot of work. So going in every 3 months, looking at it, making a little spreadsheet. I have one. If you want to message me, we'll send it to you. And it just says, you know, how many followers do I have? And then, am I making progress? Am I making moves forward as far as the number of followers? Chances are, unless you are an influencer, you're not going to gain followers just because you're posting. You're going to have to be intentional. You're going to have to engage with other people. You're going to have to comment on other people's posts. It's a relationship. And that's what a lot of people forget. They think it's more like going to Walmart and you check out, you're done, and you leave. Well, really, it's more of sitting down with a 5-course meal. Like, we want to build that relationship. We want to build that. And that, if you approach social media more that way, then you're going to be more successful. So you want to know your reach, and then you want to know your shares. You know, are people liking, commenting, or sharing your post? Can you make, if nobody's sharing your stuff, is there a post that you could make that would be share worthy?
So that's sort of part of becoming an expert in your field. This is part of what I was talking to one of my clients about yesterday. I want her to come up in her social media following as being the expert in what she is really good at. And that is shareable content if she starts sharing information that she knows that other people don't necessarily know.
Right. And then when you're writing your captions, this is like one of the biggest challenges I see is we write it maybe 1 or 2 sentences and that's it. Well, what do you want someone to do with it? So if you're sharing something now and say that it was a transformation of a kitchen, you could say, share this. So after the first of the year, when you're ready to redesign your kitchen, you have an idea. Then people, like, you know, if need inspiration, share this for later so you have inspiration. Yes. Or save it, share or save. That way you're getting them to do something. And when they do something with that post, it tells Instagram that you are feeding the beast, kind of. You're doing what they want people to do, and they're going to like that more. I explained it yesterday to someone that was a little frustrated. She goes, nobody's seeing my stuff. I go, well, we looked at her followers, and the people she was following, they were not even in America. They weren't even in her location. And so our first strategy is going to be unfollowing and removing the people that are following her, because if she has one post and it goes to 5 people that aren't your ideal audience or your ideal client, then it's going to not go anywhere. That post won't do anything. And so making sure you have the right followers, don't just do it for vanity numbers, although it's really tempting to do it for vanity numbers.
I did it years ago. I know I did it. I mean, like 10 or 8 to 10 years ago, I did that. And it was a huge mistake. And
so like for you, you're posting something to help interior designers build their business. But if you have 5 men from Saudi Arabia that work on the oil fields that are seeing your content will never go anywhere. So they will never get in front of those designers. And so that's why you want to make sure that you look at those numbers. Another number metric you can look at is link clicks. You know, are people clicking on your stuff and going to your website? You know, monitoring that, making sure you have the Google Analytics set up on your website so you can really see where your traffic is coming from. There are some of our clients, all their traffic comes from Facebook. So should they be on Instagram? Yes, but should they spend more time on Facebook or Instagram? Well, if people are coming from Facebook, how can we get more in front of the people that aren't on Facebook that are your ideal clients?
And what about LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is a hidden secret. We talk about that all the time, is that people think that LinkedIn, someone said yesterday, well, it's just for jobs. No, it's not just for jobs. It is a way to stand out as an industry expert quicker than any other social platform at this time.
Okay.
So if you're a designer, especially if your clientele have the higher income, because I think the average income on LinkedIn is like $85,000 a person. So if you're looking at households or, you know, people that have more income, they're on there, and they're on there in a professional capacity. So they're reading articles about their industry. What happens though is that you stay top of mind. So I'm sure you remember when you and I both started in the online space, people could see you 6 or 7 times, they would remember you. Now
Yes.
the data shows 70. And so
70. I've been saying 18 to 20 or 15 to
no,
18.
the last data showed 60 to 70. So
That's ridiculous.
it is. And so there's a lot of noise, and we're in a trust recession. People aren't trusting you, but they tend to trust you more on LinkedIn than any other platforms, the data shows.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so if you're posting stuff on Instagram and Facebook, you can post it on LinkedIn, but then use the magic of LinkedIn, build your connections and really learn, spend 15 minutes learning how to use LinkedIn and the engagement piece, and you will see it's just a different feel. It's a different growth opportunity.
I get a lot of spammy shit from LinkedIn. So it makes, I'm sure other people do too. So it makes me thinking about going out on LinkedIn as a more targeted marketing or teaching it to my designers, which I do, but not as a primary focus because I get so much spammy stuff.
Correct.
Right.
And right. And I used to, but I stopped. I really, really screen people who I select as a connection and make sure that I don't just accept any connection. I make sure that one, can I provide value for them, or could they provide value for myself or some of the clients that I work with? Like, is there a mutual partnership? Or if they're local and it's just nice to support local, there's
Right.
local business, then I do. But if I don't know them, they don't have any connections that are with people that I want to be connected with, I don't even connect with them. And that has really cut down my inbox spam a lot.
Okay, someone on Instagram is saying, I live in Tennessee and LinkedIn only shows me connections from people in India.
Oh, well then there's a way that we need to look to see if we can't find other connections. And there's a way to search connections within your community and in your industry. We did a training last week in our club on how to find the right connections and what you need to do to create that. So if anybody's interested, you can let me know. I'm not making it a public training because I have private information on it because it's my connections, but I would be happy to send that training if you send me a message.
Okay, so Fortune Column, that's the name of the account. Is that Heather? Reach out to Kim and get that training because I think LinkedIn, you're right. I dabble in LinkedIn, but to do it right, I would need to even do a kind of a reach out series, which is probably what you teach in
right.
your.
We showed on Friday, I taught them a 10-minute LinkedIn strategy, 10 minutes a day, LinkedIn, Monday through Friday, if you can do it. And 10 minutes to we have people that spend 8 hours creating a reel. Now, if you can spend 10 minutes on LinkedIn and get a better bang for your time than 8 hours on a reel.
Yeah, please don't spend 8 hours on a reel. It's not worth it.
Right. Well, it's easy to get stuck in the weeds, but again, we try to help make that simple too. But
it is Heather. I recognize her picture, even though it's really tiny. So
yes. So knowing your numbers, and everybody's numbers are different. Again, back to the diet. The scale might be important for some. Some people body percent fat might be better. Some people a waist circumference. So knowing what numbers matter for the goals that you're at is what is important. And then looking at them every 3 months.
Every 3 months, look at your numbers, see what's working, see what's not, go into your analytics.
Right.
If you don't know how to do any of that or create a LinkedIn strategy that's going to work for you, please reach out to Kim at freshimpactsocialmedia.com. You have a link on your website for them to get a meeting with you?
Yes. Yep. We sure do.
Okay. Yep. So how many minutes do you give somebody if they just want to chat?
We usually do 15 to 30. Kind of just.
Yep. All right. So everyone if you're struggling with your social media, there's really no reason to struggle. The struggle is usually because you hate it, you're avoiding it, you don't want to learn about it, right? You just, or you have fear about putting yourself out there on a regular basis. Talk to Kim. Get past those obstacles, because once you get past it, it's not that hard to put out on social media, but having a plan and doing it right based on your goals is key.
It is. And making it simple but knowing what works helps. And it's not a failure if you've posted the last 3 months and you've not had one like. We just need to tweak the content so that it can attract your audience.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. All right, everyone, go. Thanks for spending part of your Wednesday morning with us. Go over to freshimpactsocialmedia.com, click the link to get on a conversation with Kim. If you're struggling with your social media, she can teach you how to do it. She can do it for you. You can join the Get It Done Club or the social media club where you can do it with Kim and with other people. So you feel like you're accountable to do it every week, right? And that's the goal. It's like an accountability club almost. So I love it. I think it's the best offer in this social media world right now is this Get It Done Club.
Okay.
Hands down. It really is. It really is. And I truly believe that. So, all right. Thank you. And I will see everybody next time. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you. Have a good holiday.